The MCAT, short for the Medical College Admission Test, a test that nearly every aspiring doctor needs to take during their undergraduate years in order to get into medical school. In this video, we're going to have 4 first-year undergraduate students work together and take the MCAT. Yeah, you heard that right. These are all first-year students with no studying, no prep, heck, they might not even know what the MCAT stands for. So yeah, giving the MCAT to 4 first years might seem ridiculous, but here's the thing. The actual MCAT takes months of preparation. Most students study for 300 to 500 hours over a span of 3 to 6 months. We wanted to show what happens when you go in cold. No prep, no review books, just some confused first years working together and raw memory. Because once you see how tough the MCAT really is, you'll understand why prep matters and why premeds lose sleep over it.
My name is Kami and I am a first-year student in the Bachelor of Science in Psychology. Fun facts about me: I like baking. I like baking cookies and cakes.
Hi, I'm Neil. I am a first-year biomed student, and a fun fact about me, I make furniture for fun.
Hi, I'm Laddie. I'm a first-year biomed student, and a fun fact about me is I went to nationals for track.
I'm Ryan. I'm a first-year health science student, and fun fact, I bench 250.
Does anybody know the physics, pressure equation?
Dude, I've yet to take
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I delayed it till second year, so...
I remember from high school. I
Okay.
hope it's the same though.
Well, you got something.
try it.
Yeah.
Pressure equals atmosphere.
Okay, so atmospheric pressure.
Density times gravity times height.
Okay.
So atmosphere would be the same for both, right?
Yeah.
So we can cancel
Is it?
that.
Oh yeah, because it's like open flasks.
Yeah, they're both open
right?
flasks. And then gravity is obviously just...
Yeah, gravity
Yeah,
is the
it's the
same.
same
Like, we
gravity.
know that. And we have 10 centimeters.
Oh, is it 10 centimeters for both? Oh yeah.
Out
So
of
height will be the same.
Height will be the same.
Yeah.
Will height be the same just because... Yeah, I guess height would be the same, yeah.
Density would be the same.
Density because it's the same
It's the
liquid.
same liquid. So are we
So-
saying the pressures will be equal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so PV equals nRT, right?
PV equals nRT, yeah. PV equals nRT.
Would not double the volume of the gas.
So we're looking at volume. So would not double the volume. So if we double the pressure,
It would have the volume.
It would have the volume.
So that's not-
that has to be the answer, but we'll go through the other ones.
Yeah.
Doubling the absolute temperature, no, because it's on the other side. So it would.
No, it would.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
So I would double the
Because it's on the
volume
other
of
side.
gas.
Having the pressure, yes, it
Would
would
double the volume. Doubling the number of...
Yeah, it's on the other side. Yeah.
Okay, so it's doubling the pressure. Yeah.
Some light.
Okay,
They had a very high required for fusion.
I have no clue where to begin.
Nuclear fusion is not something I'm super acquainted with.
Does anybody know what nuclear force is? Okay.
Wait, high temperature.
Okay. I think we have to just shoot. Okay, we can rule out... Okay, we can... High temperature doesn't affect electrical charge,
No.
right? So we can rule out B.
Increase the density of the fuel light.
I mean, I'm just thinking, if the particles vibrate faster,
Okay.
right? No, won't there be more volume? Because I'm thinking about fuel, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Fuel in the winter is more condensed than fuel in the summer.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
We go with C here.
decrease the density. Anybody got?
I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say C.
Well, if it's like smaller, it would be greater pressure, right? Wouldn't that make it faster?
Faster, yeah. Move speed 30 centimeters. There's two that are above 30, 60 and 120. The cross section diameter, what is the blood flow speed as a diameter? 0.8, so
the diameter basically halves, right? So would that mean the speed doubles?
It's either double or halves.
that does make sense. And 60 is right there.
Yeah, 60 is
right
an
there.
answer.
Makes enough sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm about to go with C.
I'm
I'm about to go with C.
But first, a word from us.
Premed students don't want to hear about this one thing, but the number one thing holding you back from achieving your dream score or getting into the school of your dreams is not about your grades or how many hours you spend studying, but it's actually all about the systems you have in place. That's why I use this app called King of the Curve. It makes my study schedule for me and helps me stay consistent. That's why I love it. So if you want to score 520 plus on your MCAT, click the link in the description below. It's free. So they just dropped Platonism at the end.
Yeah.
What is like Platonism? Like, I'm
I
not
think
sure.
that's the whole question.
I know, but like what? Like
Is it a B or C?
I think it's the B.
The existence of concepts that are prototypes of real
Because of
objects.
Galileo. The astronomical principles he observed.
Yeah.
B or C?
I'm thinking C because if you look at the passage, it says one might argue, of course, that Diesel did not create the principles he applied in his engine any more than Galileo created the astronomical principles he observed. So it's saying the pre-existence of concepts that are prototypes of real objects. We're looking at the objects. We're looking at the objects. What is it? The diesel engine.
You sold me.
Yeah, I think it's
C.
So, in applying this term to a different phenomenon, so what phenomenon? Okay, so you think they're talking about the gulf between worlds? This one's tough.
A project that may result in an object. A project that may result in an object remains an illusion until its feasibility is demonstrated.
That makes a little bit of sense to me.
Yeah, because
Concerning the first one.
it talks like the same thing of like an illusory concept.
Yeah, of the Earth orbiting the Sun. Yeah.
But is that like meant to mislead us, or is that like?
It might be. But it's saying the apparent daily orbiting of Earth by the Sun is illusory, and that Earth actually orbits the Sun. Like, is it trying to say that? Like, I feel like it's saying the same thing twice. No.
It is.
It's saying apparently the Earth is orbiting the Sun, but really the Earth is orbiting the Sun.
Yeah, that's what philosophy is. It's tricking you. It's
Okay.
like the premise is this, and then the conclusion is that. So if the conclusion is false, the premise is false as well. But the premise is true, so then the conclusion is false.
Okay.
It's like really weird.
So we're saying
It's basically saying two of the same thing, but in two different ways. It's making it extremely confusing.
okay. So okay, but the conclusion is false though, right?
Then the premise either has to be false or true. You don't know.
So he's saying that back in the day, people thought the sun orbited the Earth, which is false, and that the Earth actually orbits the sun, right? So now, in applying this to different phenomena, so he's basically saying, so in essence, he's saying the thing that was thought is not true, and in reality, it's something else.
So would it be C?
No, I think I get it now. I think it's trying to say. I think it's the first line we need to pay attention to. At first, project and the objects to which they pertain are indistinguishable. So it's kind of saying like,
See,
Yeah.
see, you think it's C?
when an object results from a technological project, it becomes equivalent to
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
People take
Yeah.
it as
Yeah.
granted. So it cannot be compared to a chef in the imagining menu for a dinner. So it mentions imagining, so that means A was 100% false for the previous question. A reporter in gathering
Okay, then
facts for an article. Okay, no, you gather facts, you know. A travel agent in creating a vacation package.
Creating something.
Yeah, I think it's
We haven't
C
even-
more than it's A.
Yeah,
At
we
least.
haven't like read the entire thing, so based off of like the ones that we have read,
Yeah, the two passages,
the 2 paragraphs.
the two paragraphs.
An artist in making sketches, but I do think it might be D because we're talking a lot about the process of making these things and the like intermediate steps. And when you're an artist making sketches for a mural, like sketches are parts of the entire mural. So I think it might be D.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
based off just like thinking about like, I don't know, I guess a scientific process, is this relevant to that?
I think it could be.
Like
Yeah.
B, being gathering facts, right? You want to gather information. A, figuring out what you're gonna do, imagining, sure. C, actually doing the process. D, an artist in making sketches for a mural. I could see that too.
Making
It's like
sketches.
just the process of a project, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
The
A
beginnings of the
would be
project.
like conceptualizing it.
Mhm.
Like B would be like
Gathering
Gathering facts, you're doing
Yeah.
research. I guess it is literally just a scientific
Yeah.
method.
In B.
Which one is like the most? I think it's D. I think it's D.
Yeah.
It's either C or D. I'm trying to D.
Maybe let's try to think of an example, because people tend to respond to words and symbols. So let's say a symbol is like a watch indicating time, right? I think that works. If you have a watch, people respond to words and symbols. A watch has time, so if they were the things to which they refer, so
It's not C or D. So there B.
A sort of makes sense, because if you think about it, if you're creating a watch and you want to overcome the concept of time with that watch, but I don't know what they need to like overcome that. Is that like a problem?
Man, I'm an immigrant. I don't do English. I do math. Somebody take the lead.
What would the passage author say, bro? I know what I would say.
That's what people tend to. So it's like a societal thing, maybe. Like how a broader general audience would perceive what engineers do.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So-
what would that?
Yeah, what would I?
How is
Which
Do you think
multiple
it's
choice
C?
would I?
Do you think it's C because it explains the failure to honor great engineers, and they've already talked about Galileo and Diesel. Those are great engineers. And we were already talking about how people equate the original object to remember the Earth and something.
yeah.
So I think it could be C if we're looking at it through that lens.
All I know is the first thing that she said is it's not going to be
Yeah.
C or
It's
D.
It's not gonna be C. Yeah, okay.
I think
I said A. You guys are like no, so I don't know.
I'm fine with B.
Of course, with the distinction between hypothesis of scientists and the proposal of engineers, aren't those two like majority of the same?
Miss, any philosophical words? Are you all fine with B then? B it is. So the association observed experimentally between the expression of miRNAs and mRNAs in AR kidney transplants indicate that miRNAs regulate the expression of genes implicated in which type of immune response. So we did cover this anatomy. We did not cover anything related to this question.
Yeah, it's in kidney transplants. I think this question is based off of just like theory regarding like how the immune system treats.
Yeah, and I don't think we've actually studied this. So
let's take a guess.
So wait, what makes plasma proteins again? Is it kidney or liver? What's it, kidney? So I would want to say like, what makes plasma proteins? Is it the liver? I think it's a kidney.
Organ transplants, wouldn't that be like an immediate kind of rejection?
What makes lymphocytes? Lymphocytes are made by the kidney, right? Because it's white blood cells are made by the kidney. The adaptive immune system is
Is that
lymphocytes. Yeah, lymphocytes are type of white blood cell, right? Yeah, I think it's just A. Because okay, what are the innate defenses? Okay, the innate immune system, it also consists of the skin barrier, right?
Right. Yeah.
So therefore, that would not be affected. But I guess other aspects would be. But I feel like the biggest thing that would be affected by a kidney transplant would be the adaptive immune system. Simply because lymphocytes are white blood cells, the kidney produces white blood cells, I think.
I'm down to go with A.
Well, I guess.
Not gonna lie,
I think it's A.
Okay, so immunosuppressors means that like the treatment basically like kind of goes against the rejection, right?
Sure.
So with the dark is normal transplant and the gray is acute rejection. What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you said it goes against the rejection, right?
Yeah, because it's trying to like tell the immune system to chill out, right?
Okay,
Not
yeah.
to reject the organ.
So which one would the least? So I guess it's the one with the least amount of gray.
Yeah.
So would it not be MIR?
No, least likely to benefit from therapy.
Or least likely to.
So we want the most amount of gray.
Oh, the most?
Yeah, because like if it's the least likely to benefit, I would imagine you want the most rejection.
Okay.
But
that's how you-
wouldn't most rejection benefit? Like if there's no rejection at all, then it's kind of like nothing
It's
going
useless,
on, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. If you have no rejection, then there's nothing to like you're just fine.
Okay, what the hell is MIR 155?
It's just one of the bottom ones.
Oh, one
the
of
second
those.
one is MIR 155.
Yeah. So high levels. Oh no, I think it is just A. High levels of MIR 155. Because if you have high levels of the least amount of rejection possible, then you should be fine.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Alright, A it is.
Yay.
Yeah, because 7C is like red. Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rank your performance on this test?
As a collective, I think we did pretty well. I would give it a 5 just because we did struggle a little bit throughout the entire exam.
I think I would give it a solid 5.
Now, what were the hardest and easiest sections?
For me personally, chemistry and biology. The easier ones would be psychology, maybe CARS. I know a lot of people said that CARS was pretty hard, but I took philosophy and I am taking it right now, and that's a lot of like critical thinking, and so I got to display that part, I guess.
And what was the easiest and hardest sections?
Easiest section definitely had to be chemistry just because we had a lot of prerequisite knowledge just from university. However, the hardest section is probably the CARS section just because it's so critical thinking based and we've had no like specific MCAT preparation beforehand.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone looking to take the MCAT?
The MCAT is really long, so be prepared. I would suggest studying really hard for it, using flashcards like Anki or Quizlet. Just be very prepared. Study hard.